and welcome to Redmen TV. It's Jonathan here with the player ratings after a 5-1 victory over Brighton. And as you can tell, our spirits are big high. So what as I said in the match reaction, great results, great performances all around, and I'm going to go through the player ratings now. Strange team lineup. So this one was a little bit more fun to do, and I definitely didn't expect these sort of reactions or these sort of ratings even at the start of the day when we saw that team. But I'll go through them here now. So in goal we have Simon Mignolet. Mixed bag. The negatives are his kicking was a little sluggish, I thought, today. But look, we know that about him. But what I will say about him, and credit to him, he made a huge save right after half time. From Murray, from a complete one-on-one that should have been a goal, and we end up going straight down the pitch and getting our third goal. So I have to give him huge credit for that. In terms of dealing with balls into the box, considering it's a new defence that was in front of him. All in all, it was kind of a positive day all round for him. He deserves a 7 for after that performance. On to right wing back, then it's Trent. I thought he had a very good game. In a different position again for him. Always attacking outlet, defensively solid, never really got exposed. A decent performance, and made one unbelievable defensive kind of just a run across the back of the defence to save the day there in the second half. Another brilliant performance for him, and another exciting prospect. Definitely, we've talked about it many times, but to see him playing another position again today, a very good performance. Trent gets a 7 for me. On to I would call them the three central defenders, but look, we only had one. On the right, we had Emery. Thrown back into a position that's not really his. Has had a couple of wobbles playing before in that position, but barring maybe one flaky moment where there's a bit of a lack of communication with him and our keeper he gives away a corner that actually leads to the whole penalty. A decent performance. We obviously look comfortable on the ball. Never really that exposed that many times in general play, which would have been the fear. Was very disciplined with his game. I thought he had a very good performance, and of course the goal really. As I said in the match reaction video, we've questioned his commitment off the pitch. You definitely couldn't question his commitment in trying to get his head on that header to give us the lead, which was a vitally important goal because the game had been in the melting pot up to then. Emery gets a 7 for me. Lovren then in the middle of that back three. Who knows, folks? A centre half playing centre half, that'll never catch on, will it? No, but look, Lovren's had a flaky time recently. We all know that. It's been well highlighted, but I thought he was brilliant today. Particularly, bearing in mind that he had two midfielders playing either side of him. Led the line very well, covered a lot of attacks, never exposed. The penalty wasn't even his, but the goal that they got, you couldn't question him at any stage, and I thought he had a brilliant performance and probably one of the best performances we've seen of him recently. So Lovren gets an 8 for me. The other side, left side of the defence is Gini. And look, I don't need to say, folks, it's a strange position for him. A right-footed midfielder playing on the left side of a back three. But he was never exposed. He looked comfortable on the ball at all stages. Made a brilliant tackle in the first half of Murray to stop pretty much an open goal. And again, like Emery, was never really exposed at any stage, which was the fear coming into the game. So he had a very good game again, and Gini gets a 7 for me. Then left wing back, it's Robertson, brought in from the dead. 11 weeks I think he has since he's last played for us. Settling very well, was a good played very high up the defence, or high up the field, I beg your pardon. Always an option, particularly in the first half when the game was cagey, like midfield was jammed, and he was always an option. He was always available for that out ball down the left channel. Never exposed. Decent performance, a threat going forward, and did his job defensively. A very good game, and Robbo gets a 7 for me. Onto midfield then, we had Millie. He put in a graft. Was always a bit of an option. He kept doing his usual kind of run out to the right channel. A couple of times look a little laboured, but he's that kind of hard, gritty kind of guy. He gets his foot in, he slobs around. Never really the quickest anymore. A couple of times he got caught. exposed. But look, he put in a hard graft, and you know what you're going to get with Millie. Really, Millie gets a 6 for me. Hendo, I suppose something similar to Millie. Put in his graft. Did okay. Couple of times he was spun around, which is always the worst thing about Hendo in that position. You know, he's not the quickest anymore. But you know, a decent grafted performance, and Hendo gets a 6 for me. Then we go to the boys up top. Phil, the star of the show. How many nutmegs did he do in that half? He clearly had a bet on to do a nutmeg challenge, see how many nutmegs he could make. He was just doing them for fun. Grew into the game more and more as the game got on, as we got comfortable. You saw him before half time just doing endless flicks and nutmegs. In the second half, then, you know, he just literally grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. And when the game was, you know, that stage in the second half when Brighton came back into the game, he led the attack. And what is it? In his last, I'll have the stat written down here. In his last 10 games for Liverpool, he's involved in 11 goals. And look, that's just incredible. Actually, sorry, that's even gone wrong. That's gone up to 13 goals. I had to correct it through the game there. That's 8 goals and 5 assists. And I'm giving the second one to him as well. It's definitely Coutinho goal. Assist in the first half. You know, anything that was good attacking, he was involved in it. The free kick was just a moment of pure and utter magic. Like if Ronaldo or Messi does that, everyone's raving about it. If that's done in a European league, everyone's raving about it. 10 people in the wall and he just tucks it in everybody. And we've seen him done that before. A wonderful, wonderful performance. And Coutinho gets a 9 for me and man of the match. The other two guys, Bobby, another decent performance. 2 goals isn't bad, is it? Surprisingly, I thought he started it probably a little sluggish, but that's the way the game was. It was a little bit more condensed. There was a lot of bodies around the midfield, but you know, like Coutinho, the longer the game went on, the more and more he was involved in it, and 2 goals, and 2 important goals as well, particularly the one on the finish for both of them was actually 2 excellent finishes. And those are things that you question him about at times. You know, that's always the question, can he finish enough? Like, beautiful. It's a little trickier than it looks for his first one, just to tuck away a flow and move, and then the second one is beautiful finish in the top in. Brilliant performance, and Bobby gets an 8 for me. Then Salah, I don't know what we're going to have to do with this guy. Only an assist today. I think we're going to have to dump him out, lads. No. Another, you know, not the levels that we got used to, but another brilliant performance from Salah today. Everything that was good about us, you know, he was leading. You know, he gets the hockey assist for Bobby's first goal. He led that charge away, beautiful charge away for Bobby's second goal, and it's just that moment of intelligence, which is why I'm so excited about him, because we've seen other players in the Premiership, i.e. say Walcott for example, having burning pace, but then not knowing what to do with it. They would get the ball, they run, and then they go, oh Jesus, what am I supposed to do here? Watch the movement that Salah takes in that breakaway for Bobby's second goal. He's coming. He tucks in, drags in a defender, and then flicks the ball back out to the space that he's created, and then Bobby just finishes. Just beautiful. And you know, he's taken off to get rested, and we're going to need him for more of the games coming up. And just another brilliant performance for him. And Salah gets an 8 for me. The subs that came on, it wasn't levels of the Salah substitution midweek, but the more brought on to wind down the clock. Chamberlain, Gruish and Solanke came on. You know, it's impossible to rate the performances. They just came on, they did what they had to do. It was time wasting / running around / closing out the game. Good to see them getting some more game time, particularly Gruish, as he looks like he's heading out on loan in January. But you know, another option there, and there we are, folks. That's the player ratings. Wonderful. I'm absolutely buzzing after a 5-1 victory over Brighton. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the Redmen TV, and I will talk to you all very soon. Up the Reds!
Christmas merchandise out now. Click the annotation on the left hand side of the screen or the link in the description. Last Christmas, oh my word, have you seen this design? Could you imagine how many Evertonians you will piss off by wearing this at the dinner table on Christmas Day? Oh yes.